Bitcoin bounce, important news, Sunny decree, huge Bitcoin bounce, the moon, Bitcoin bounce, key levels, Bitcoin bounce, Bitcoin bounce, Bitcoin bounce, Bitcoin bounce, Bitcoin bounce, Bitcoin bounce, crypto, Bitcoin bounce. Alright guys, today's video is going to be on Bitcoin bouncing. We're going to be doing a video in regards to the current coin market cap as well as technical analysis. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, definitely make sure to do so. It's as simple as swinging on over to the channel, clicking the subscribe button, turning on post notifications. We're doing a giveaway at 12,000 subscribers. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, so before we jump into the current coin market cap and the technical analysis and charting, I wanted to make a quick point. But when you start to see articles online and YouTubers doing similar content, it may potentially have something to do with the fact that this is a strong suit, that they may be onto something. And that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. The possibilities of this Bitcoin and Litecoin bouncing and whether or not it is going to happen. Because the longer we trade sideways, the bigger the opportunity is for us to explode with quite a bit of volume and volatility up to levels we probably haven't seen in quite some time, or levels as low as we haven't seen in quite some time. So looking at the current coin market cap, you will notice that we are trading at 219. 24-hour volume is 43 bilt, which is extremely low, lower than where it was yesterday, which was about 50. I was not expecting us to fall this low. And Bitcoin dominance at 67.6, about the same. Looking at the top 10 cryptos, or just the amount that fits on my page, everything is down about 0.3 to 0.4%. Really nothing is down by any means more or less than 1%, which is okay. It's once again just another day of flatlined, no volume, sideways trading. Very, very, very interesting. What does this mean? How will it affect the market? So as we know, with no volume and no trading, Litecoin now falling into the number 6 spot. Maybe it was in number 6. I think it was. We now have the technical analysis to look at. And I want to jump right into the technical analysis. I know how you guys love it so much, but we're going to focus on the possibilities of this bounce happening that everybody is talking about and making such similar content to. I figured I would give it a shot and see what exactly they're looking at. So with further analysis, I am able to understand that they are showing very textbook signs, specifically Litecoin. Obviously, Bitcoin does have a very similar act too, but Litecoin is really the biggest takeaway and the biggest focus right now that I'm seeing that shows the dead giveaway of possibilities of breaking out happening. We've talked about it in yesterday's video. We've talked about it in today's video. Also to share with you guys an article posted by Germany and Bitcoin. Very interesting article. Here we have it. I looked it up yesterday, but a stake-backed German bank says Bitcoin will leap to $90,000 in 2020. We talked about this too. Very interesting, the fact that they're reporting this and they think it will shoot up this high. How does this have, any effect to do with right now? Well, they're referring to the Bitcoin hash rate. And if we look at the Bitcoin hash rate, if this shows me a proper chart, yeah, here we go. You'll notice that over the time that Bitcoin has been dropping to quite such low levels. I know this was 922, so this wasn't too late ago, but you'll notice the uptrend is happening. The hash rate is increasing on blockchain, and you'll notice that Bitcoin is getting stronger within its hash ratio as we, head to these lower prices. The hash rate itself is continuously going up, which is making it harder to mine and which is making it more valuable whether or not the price reflects it at this moment in time. So that's another thing to be paying attention to while looking at the technical analysis. So when we look at these prices not reflected, we just need some catching up to do, not necessarily a major bear run to the downside. So when looking at Bitcoin right now, you'll notice a couple of things. One thing is, once again, we're hitting this wall right here. We're hitting some retracement, not really seeing, well, there's a slight resistance. If we were to look at here, add this in, it's acting more as a support than any resistance, but you'll see how exactly the price is reacting to this. We're back above it. We were trading sideways in between it. Now we're back above, using it as a support. And clearly, without much, technical analysis, if you want to get really in depth, some advanced traders can easily see that we're undervalued, being, very close to being oversold on the RSI. Practically no volume across the board right now. Volume is at an all-time low, and you're seeing right now that we're below not only the high-low middle moving average, but the Fibonacci levels as well. We can all pretty much assume, one would know, that the price wants to come back up. It wants to swing back up higher. It wants to become more neutral, get out of being oversold, and trade at around 50 on the RSI. And I feel like it's extremely reflected within Litecoin's chart, because when looking at Litecoin's chart, I haven't seen this sideways price trading in quite some time. And I want to give an example as to what could potentially happen. All right, so here's a great possibility. So this could be, as we know, when we were in this extreme bear market that was trading us downwards for months on months on months. Eventually, we hit a support and we started to trade out sideways. Everybody was getting very, 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 very annoyed with the fact that we were just trading out sideways. We had 1, 2, 3, or let's do this really quick. Save my breath. We do a date range and we pull this up to here. This is about 30 days. We had a month of just sideways trading with zero movement and zero volume. You can see right here, volume was practically flatlined out right now, trading in between a cap of 33 and a support of $30. We traded out sideways. Eventually, the culprit of it, or the end game, was a major blow up in volume, massive amounts of volume coming in, shooting the price up to higher levels, opening up this upwards channel right here that we then trended into for quite some time. Eventually, we hit a downtrend, as we know right now, started to pull back down. And now we're starting to see some sort of trend start to form once again. So this could ultimately lead to a potential channel as we trend upwards, or we could just straight up break bullish or break bearish and continue to find its own trajectory and find its own channel and path. But for the most part, when we see consolidation like this and this sideways trading and this sideways consolidation, it's a major indicator that we're kind of readying ourselves for a potential break in either direction. I wish I had which way. I'm looking for more of a bounce to the upside because of how long we've had such a downtrend. I've been trying to call in previous times resistance in this downtrend that we managed to break bullish, and sometimes we do. We've seen pulls to the upside. We've seen drops as low as $80 shoot all the way up to 100, and it's definitely possible we could see that again. But being oversold right now, similar to Bitcoin's being oversold, it's usually a great indicator that an upswing is necessary. Now, this is something that is to consider. Just because we see a potential reversal in price and we shoot up to a higher level doesn't mean we're kind of out of this rat race yet. You can see here, if I extended this longer, you can consider that we are potentially still within a bigger means of a descending triangle. Just because we broke this symmetrical one bearish doesn't mean we're out of the massive descending triangle we're currently in, potentially, which could result in possibly some more consolidation. I know some people have some downwards channels forming right now, but for the most part, this could be a possibility. Now we have this resistance right here. We could easily see a swing back up, a retest of around 9,400, and then continue to climb out like this until we reach support, which we're currently at, and eventually break bullish. So when indeed we do decide to break bullish from here and break up to the upside, be mindful that this is not going to be a long-term thing. This is short-term within a major bear market, and it's going to probably pull back down just as quickly. You can see there's plenty of room on the charts here for us to refall lower down. We just finally hit the tip of the Fibonacci levels, and we could easily see more consolidation lower. We could easily pull back down to where we started from in the last rally. We shot up all the way to 20 grand. We pulled down to a support of around $6,100. This is definitely a possibility within the Fibonacci levels. You also notice we really haven't been below the Fibonacci in quite some time, and when we do, we manage to swing or catapult ourselves, slingshot ourselves right back up. So for us to see, retestment right now isn't necessarily a huge concern. There's also a lot of support holding this coin upwards. But yeah, I think there is room for a short-term rally to the upside, followed by potentially more of a bear market. Something to consider. Ethereum looks okay, getting very close to retesting its Fibonacci on the daily. XRP looks okay as well. Pretty much just trading out sideways, consolidating. It doesn't really seem like it wants to go anywhere just yet. There's really not much of a pattern to draw out on here. We do have this downtrend right here. I mean, we could even consider this to be the start of a descending, wedge right here. But for the most part, it looks like it's in a bearish pattern right now. This seems to be okay to me, and I do think there's quite a bit of resistance on this coin before it, it decides to break bullish. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's episode, guys. Hopefully, this was a great video that entertained you in regards to this potential bouncing that everyone is talking about. And otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.